Welcome back. Myself, Gokul. I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of MBA, Sri Muthukumaran Institute of Technology. This is part 3 of Unit 4, Dividend Policy Decision. In this session, we will explore the relevance theories, models that argue dividend policy does affect the value of the firm. Today, we will cover Walter model, assumption, formula, and criticisms, Gordon model, assumptions, formula, and criticism, and then finally, effect of dividend policy on share value. Let's begin with the Walter model. Professor James E. Walter argued that in the long run, share price reflect only the present value of expected dividends. Key proportions are retention influence stock price only through their effect on future dividends. Dividend policy is relevant because it affects shareholders' wealth. Walter used the dividend decision to optimize the wealth of equity shareholders. His model shows that the optimal dividend payout ratio depends on the relationship between the firm's internal rate of return and its cost of capital. Then assumptions of Walter model. Walter model is based on several key assumptions. Point number one, internal financing. All investments are financed through retained earnings, no external debt or equity. Then second, constant return and cost of capital. The firm's internal rate of return and cost of capital remains constant. Then third, 100% payout or retention ratio. The firm either pays out all earnings or retain all earnings, no partial payout. Then fourth, constant EPS and DPS. Earning per share and dividend per share remain constant in this model. Then finally, infinite time. The firm has an infinite life. These assumptions simplify the model but also limits its real world applicability. Then formula of the Walter model I have shown in the screen. P equal to D plus R E minus D power K, E minus D divided by K, whole divided by K, where P refers to the market price per share, D refers to the dividend per share, E refers to the earnings per share, R refers to the internal rate of return, which means return on investment. Then K, cost of capital, required rate of return. Then interpretation, if R greater than K, it's a profitable firm, retained earnings, low payout ratio, maximizes price. If R less than K means unprofitable firm, payout earnings, high payout maximizes price. If R equal to K means dividend policy is irrelevant. This is Walter's key insight. The optimal dividend policy depends on whether the firm can earn more than its cost of capital. Then, effect of dividend policy on valuation of shares. Based on Walter model, there are three cases. Case 1 or greater than K growth firm. The firm earns more than the required rate of return Better to retain earnings and reinvest. Low payout ratio maximizes share price. Then case 2 or less than K, declining firms. The firm earns less than the required rate of return. Better to distribute earnings as dividends. High payout ratio maximizes share price. Then case 3 R equal to K. It's a normal firm. The firm earns exactly the required return. Dividend policy does not matter. Any payout ratio yields the same share price. This gives manager a clear decision rule on the dividend policy. Then criticism of Walter model. Despite its insights, Walter model has limitations, no external financing, which means the model assumes all financing comes from retained earnings. In reality, firms use debt and new equity. Then second, R is not constant. R means internal rate of return. The internal rate of return typically decreases as more investment is made, which means diminishing returns. Then third, K is not constant. The cost of capital changes with the firm's risk profile, especially as debt increases. Then assumes perfect market, ignores taxes, transaction cost, and other market imperfections. These limitations mean Walter model is a useful theoretical framework but not a precise practical tool. Then Gordon model. Professor Myron Gordon also argued that dividend policy affects the value for value. The main proportion, the value of a share reflects the value of future dividends accruing to that share. Key difference from the Walters model is Gordon explicitly incorporates growth into his model. He showed how dividend policy can be used to maximize shareholders' value. The model holds that the shares market price equals the sum of shares discounted future dividend payment like perpetuity that grows over time. Then Gordon model assumptions. Gordon model shares many assumptions with Walter model. The firm is an all equity firm, which means no debt. R and K are constant. The firm has perpetual life. Retention ratio is constant. Growth rate equal to R into retention ratio. K less greater than G. Required rate of return exceeds growth rate. These assumptions make the model mathematically tractable but also limits its real world application. Then formula for the Golden model I've shown in the screen. P equal to E into 1 minus B divided by K minus BR, where P is market price per share, E earnings per share, B retention ratio, proportion of earnings retained, 1 minus B it's a payout ratio, K is cost of capital, R is internal rate of return, BR which means growth rate. The denominator K minus BR must be positive. If R greater than K, higher retention, higher B increases P. If R less than K, lower retention increases P. There is consistency with Walter's conclusion. The same wa- limitation as per the Walter model there is for the golden model criticisms assumes R and K are constant, which means unrealistic, assume no external financing, ignore tax and transaction cost, the condition K greater than G may not hold for high growth firm. Additionally, the model is highly sensitive to the assumed growth rate. Small changes in G produce large changes in P. Despite these limitations, both Walter and Gordon model provide valuable conceptual framework for thinking about dividend policy. That concludes part 3 of Unit 4. We have explored Walter model and Gordon model, both arguing that dividend policy does affect firm value, which will comes under the relevance theory. In part 4, we will examine the opposing view, Modigliani Miller's irrelevance model, and the bird in the hand theory. If you found this video helpful, means please like, share, and subscribe. Leave your questions in the comments. See you in the final part of this unit. Thank you. Thank you for watching.